less than 4 months, the UK will vote on whether to leave or stay in the European Union. What would Brexit mean for London's financial centre? I am asking Chris Cummings, Chief Executive of TheCityUK, which is a body that represents the financial services sector here in London. Chris, welcome. So, how concerned are you?
Well, wherever I travel in the world, the first question people ask me is, will the UK leave the European Union? That's true in the US as much as India or China. Well, I think the British public are really quite savvy about this, and they understand that it will be about jobs. Which option, staying in the European Union or leaving, will be better for them and their families.
And what's your view?
Well, my view is that the next few months will be a difficult period because people feel very strongly about whether to remain part of the European Union or whether to leave. But I can't help but think on the 24th of June when we wake up, the British public will have decided to keep us inside the European Union.
And which is your preferred choice? That would be the City UK preferred choice?
Well, I think the UK will do tremendously well if it remains part of a reformed European Union. Mm-hmm. And that's why I think the special deal that the Prime Minister negotiated actually is the start of a good reform process. It's up to the UK government now, of course, to firstly make sure that that deal gets delivered in action, but then also to keep on pushing for a more competitive, a more dynamic, a more competitive and outward-looking European Union. That will make sure that more jobs come to the UK as well as every other European member state.
So you mentioned potential deals with China and India and the US, which are countries that, of course, you visit, representing the City UK. How distracting is Brexit in terms of the conversations that you're having with your representatives in those markets? So rather than talking about potential investments, are they just asking and want to know about Brexit?
Well, look, business likes certainty. Foreign investors like to know that the country they're investing in is stable, that the tax regime is predictable, that the regulatory environment works for business, and that the underlying foundation is solid. And of course, the UK has a huge amount to offer. You know, we are not only the preeminent international financial centre, but the world's 5th largest economy. So there are many, many good reasons to keep on investing in the UK. But of course, the city, the UK, has done very well out of its membership of the European Union. In fact, one of the reasons why so many major firms come to the UK and base themselves out of London is because the city has been the gateway to the single market, a market of 500 million people. And that's really the great USP, the great selling point that London's had to offer the world.
And one of these major firms is, of course, HSBC, which has recently chosen to stay put in London, to keep London as its headquarters. Yet they warn that in the case of a Brexit, in the case of the UK leaving the EU, they may relocate a substantial part of their investment banking operations to Paris. Do you think that others may follow?
Well, firstly, I think that the UK will choose to remain inside the European Union. And I think it was a great vote of confidence by HSBC in the UK and in the preeminence of London as a place to do business, that they decided to retain their head office here in the UK. I think that's a win-win for both HSBC and the whole of the UK, actually. In the event of a Brexit, I think the UK will have to work even harder to show why it remains a good place to do business. And of course, what it will come down to is any deal that gets done between the UK and the other 27 European member states.
Very good. Well, we have, as I said, less than 4 months. Anything can happen from now to the 23rd of June. So we shall keep a close eye on the debate. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.